morning, Lionhearts. Your old pal, Jordan the Lion. How are you today? Great! Well, I am feeling great too, and today we are going to take Jaw out to play, but he's also going to be part of the vlog because we are going to do something today on the, well, the history of the Hollywood animals. There's actually, you know, up at Grauman's, there's a handprint and footprint place for all the celebrities. They actually did one of those for the pets and the animal actors of Hollywood as well. So we're going to go check that out. Unfortunately, at one point, they quit adding to it. I'll tell you why. So, Daze with Jordan the Lion, taking Jaw to a new park begins now. Yeah, it's another gloomy day out here. We may have to hit that up. Pumpkin Festival? He's very fascinated because he's only been here once and it was 2 or 3 years ago. So, looks like there are a lot of dogs out here today. A lot of big ones. This looks like this might be the bigger park, so maybe we'll check out the small park first and come back. Come on, bud. I don't know how I feel about the dog parks being right under those power lines, but yeah, so this is the small one. I didn't actually know they had a small one last time we came here, so we'll check this out. Look at the apartment building over here. You think they're dog lovers? He wouldn't have any problem being in the big dog park, but if something were to happen, then it's, you know, it's more my fault than anyone else's. So let's give this one a try. Not quite as many dogs here, but there are still a few dogs here. So let's see what happens. There he goes. The sniffing game. Oh yeah, we're near the airport also. What's up, cool dude? Yeah, I don't get it. There are puppies everywhere and he still won't do anything. He just got ditched. Finally making some friends here. So what we're gonna see today is something that was originally put there starting in the 30s from the Performing Animals Top Star of the Year Committee. And what they would do, I believe it was from 1932 all the way up until like the mid 80s, is that they would pick the top performing animal star of the year and put their foot, hoof, hand, whatever it was, prints in there. And today we're gonna see people like one of the original MGM Lions, Jackie, Rhubarb the cat, Lassie, Benji, all kinds of performing animal stars. And unfortunately in the mid 80s, like I said, they quit doing it. And when we get there, I'll tell you why they quit doing it. And unfortunately, from what I read online, it looks like many of the years are missing. The foot handprints are actually missing, so we'll go see what they do have. So we passed a couple of interesting murals here along the way, so on our way back through to where the handprints are, I'm going to show you a couple of those. So you might ask yourself, where do they put this Walk of Fame? Well, at the Burbank Animal Shelter, of course. Now what we wanted to see is right on the other side of this Daniel's Tacos. Take a look at this. Pretty good depiction of Prince, isn't it? All the way down to some sort of weird chain necklace. Thought that was worth showing you guys. There's old Circus Liquor with that big clown. That's been in tons of TV, movie, music video shoots. Probably see that a lot. Well, on one of the busiest streets here in Burbank, we found it. The City of Burbank Animal Shelter. Let's go explore. Well, out of all those years, from 1932 to like 1986, this is all that's left. A small little slab here and depicting some of the stars of the 50s. Actually, there's a few more over there, so maybe we'll get a few more. Francis, this Francis I looked up, Francis was a talking mule in pictures back then. Now Rhubarb, this one I was really happy to see because many of you may know Rhubarb from Breakfast at Tiffany's. Rhubarb had a pretty big career. He was actually in This Island Earth and some other stuff, but what I know Rhubarb from is he was in one of my favorite Vincent Price movies called Comedy of Terrors. And really funny, actually gets a credit when they show all the credits at the beginning and end and everything. Rhubarb gets a name mention and a face mention in there. You want to slide over there, friend? Hey friend, do you want to slide over? Thank you. But yeah, that's a great movie. If you've never seen it, it's Peter Lorre, Vincent Price, and I believe Boris Karloff plays the aging father in there. And I haven't seen it in a while, but I used to watch it constantly, so this was really cool to see. And Rhubarb was in a few other things too. Let me check out and see what else Rhubarb was in. Oh, well, the obvious one was that Rhubarb had his own movie called Rhubarb. Now, right below it is Jackie. That was one of the original MGM lions. Jackie the Lion. Now, I'm not exactly sure, so I'm gonna need some of your guys' help with this one. Sam the dog from 1954. I'm not sure what Sam was in, but Gypsy, I was able to read up, and in 1954 they made a movie about a Gypsy the horse, and it was based off of like a Lassie reference, or it was a character that appeared in Lassie, so that's what Gypsy's claim to fame was. And a lot of these were actually trained by Frank Inn, who I have done a vlog on before. Check out, isn't that classic? They have the Dalmatian style hydrant for the animals to pee on, and you can tell it's wet, so some have been using it. And there's a recognition of the Patsy Award winners. Like I mentioned, that's where this all came from. So let's go over here. And I was told, somebody said, oh, you gotta check this out because Lassie's there. So hopefully Lassie is here. Well, actually, here's Benji and owner Frank Inn, who I just mentioned. Now, I know Frank Inn's granddaughter actually watches my channel pretty regularly, so maybe she can chime in, but I believe Frank had a lot of these animals when they passed away. He had them cremated, and I think he was buried with them. So here we go. Here's 1956 Wildfire. I don't know what Wildfire's from. We'll have to... I'll look that up before I go and see if I can find it. Took a lot of digging to figure out some of these. Samantha the goose. Spike the dog. And then of course, I recognize Shaggy. Shaggy the dog. They had a movie about Shaggy the dog. And then Pyewacket. I'm not familiar with where Pyewacket came from. Now, the reason they quit doing these is because they just lost funding. They couldn't afford to keep doing these. How crazy is that, to think of how many dog owners and dog lovers there are out here, and they couldn't get people to donate or whatever to just put a few more, or even once a year, a slab of cement and put their footprints in it. Because we could have had Spuds MacKenzie and you know, countless famous animal actors since '86 when they quit doing this. Oh, I guess they don't have Lassie. This is kind of funny though. If you look at Samantha the goose, you can see the little goose footprints. What are you doing? What are you doing, you goofball? Now, I wasn't able to find out online if this was the original location of where they did these or if they moved them here. I almost want to think that they probably moved them here, but I'd love to know what happened to all the years before and all the years afterward, because this just goes up to 1960, and like I said, they did this for better part of 50 years, and they only have about 10 years here. Yeah, so I guess this answers our question, 1990. So that's when they opened this one. So I don't know what happened and where these were originally housed at, but it's kind of cool that they moved a few of them over here. And they have some good ones. These aren't even just ones we can't find anything about. I'll say this, for a lion, Jackie has some great penmanship. Well, I guess I misspoke. If they ever had Lassie's footprints out here, they don't have it anymore. And maybe what they were referring to was the fact that the horse, like I mentioned, Gypsy, was part of Lassie at one point. So maybe that's what they meant by it. That's unfortunate. I would have loved to have seen the original Lassie's footprints here. But it's kind of cool. Like I said, most of these were Frank Inn's pets, and Frank Inn was just a really phenomenal, well-known, well-loved animal trainer. He did, you know, he trained the animals that were on the Beverly Hillbillies, Green Acres, pretty much all the shows back then. He was trained by an earlier well-known animal trainer named Rudd Weatheraxe, who was like the uncle of Pugsley from the Addams Family, and Rudd kind of took in Frank, taught him how to train the animals, and Frank just had a natural, you know, just kinship with these animals, so everybody loved him. They said Rhubarb was actually named Orangey and was a pretty tough actor to work with. They said it would scratch you a lot and cause a lot of commotion, but for some reason, Orangey was cool with being on set for long hours of the day, so they just kept using Orangey. So if you ever want to come visit these animals' handprints yourself, they're pretty much right out front. Right here and right here. Can't miss them. I grew up loving Benji, and I was born in 1981, so that tells you how long of a career the Benji character has had. They've had multiple Benjis, but this one goes back to 1960, and I remember seeing a Benji movie in the theaters in like 86 or 87, so. And I've never actually been to an animal shelter quite like this, not like a city one. Never seen this before. They actually have a few cages in case you have to bring strays that you find when their hours are, when they're closed, so never really seen that before. Alright, I think we're gonna get out of here. My mom grew up loving Lassie, so I was really hoping they had Lassie's handprints here, but it is what it is. And they call that sculpture Best Friends. If they ever do a Celebrity Dogs a YouTube handprint anywhere, guess who's gonna be the first at the list? Yep. That was really too bad that so many of those were missing, because I had read that Mr. Ed had won that award as well. So I got a little update for you guys. This long-awaited Big Bear interview, I actually got a call back, and my friend said, you know, they own a house in Santa Monica as well. He said, we're actually going to be going back to the house in Santa Monica in about 2 or 3 weeks if you'd just rather do it there. I'm going to call him back because I really want to do it in Big Bear. There's something up there that I wanted to include in that vlog, and he also has something else I recently found out about that I would like to vlog that's in Santa Monica, so I'm hoping to talk him into that, so I'll let you guys know what we decide. Well, we're headed back over to Silver Lake Park, so you know who can play. I feel like I pretty much lived most of my life over here. Well, I just made my call to my friend about the Big Bear interview, and what he said was, one of the reasons that we wanted to do it up there is because there are tour boats that go around his property, and he said, actually, this time of the year, he said, I'm lucky if I get 1 a day as opposed to, you know, in the spring or whatever, I'll get 5 or 6 a day. So he said, why don't we just do it in Santa Monica when I get there in 2 weeks, because he said, up here in Big Bear, I always have commitments and things I have to do and everything, but he said, down in Santa Monica, I'm really bored, so he said, let's just do it there. So we will finally get that interview. I'm not mentioning finally as though I'm upset or anything, just, you know, we've been talking about it since, what, like May or June, so it will happen here probably before the end of November, or the end of October, but maybe early November also. So when we get home, I bought some charcoal to stain my teeth. I'm gonna do that with you guys, show you how to do that. I've never done it before, but since I drink green juice and coffee all the time, it kind of stains your teeth, and this black charcoal stuff is supposed to be the best thing to like clean them off, and it only takes like 2 minutes. We are here. And I might go over to Jollibee after this and get a Halo Halo. I'm kind of in the mood. There's about 6 dogs out here. It's good enough. Well, that is it. Park time is done. Yeah, let's get a Halo Halo. Well, there it is, my Halo Halo. Can't wait to try this out when I get home. Last one I had was really good. What the heck is he doing? He's dancing. Well, I just checked the mailbox and I got some mail, and I know exactly what it is because I ordered it. I actually ordered 5 of these and mailed them out to various people. So some of you, if I have your address, you might randomly be getting one of these in the mail. Oh yeah, I got one. I put mine on red. I thought it just, for some reason, with all that chaos going on down here with the military man, I just thought that looked better, so yep. Handfully, you are going to be getting a gift from me in the mail of the They Vlog shirt. So I came home and did some looking around online to see if I could find maybe where those original animal hand and footprints were at before they were at the shelter that they're at now. And I actually couldn't find where they originally were. But what I did find out was, you know, I was sitting there wondering what happened to all the ones before Francis the Talking Mule. That's like the very first one that we saw. Well, that was the first one. Even though the Patsy Awards were started in the 30s, like I said, upon looking and looking and looking, I did find one site that said they didn't do the prints, they didn't do the hand or foot or hoof or whatever prints that we saw. They didn't start that until 1951. So all the ones after 1960, which was Higgins, who was the Benji that we saw, Higgins was not only that Benji, but he was also the dog on Petticoat Junction. So just wondering what happened to all the ones after that, right? Alright, so here's the teeth whitening charcoal that I bought. Even has 4-step instructions on the side, so we can't mess this up. Only thing I'm wondering is I don't know how often you're supposed to do it. So I do know you're not supposed to eat it or taste it or any of that stuff, but what I think the deal is, from what it says on the side, you just get your toothbrush wet, dip your toothbrush in the powder. It says a little goes a long way, and then you just brush your teeth for like 2 minutes. And then, of course, you just spend 2 minutes rinsing them off, brushing them off and everything, and you're supposed to have that kind of a smile. I can't imagine it will work immediately, but we'll see. Alright, let's do a zoom in on my teeth and see if we can tell any difference after one try today. There it is. Almost looks like skull, doesn't it? Blech. Doesn't that look good? Okay, the timer's set. Let's do it. Oh. Alright, well, we're done. I don't know if I see any difference yet, but maybe it takes more than one day. I'm guessing since there's a whole container of powder, you probably have to do it every day for a couple days, so here we are. Alright, you two, I think we're gonna call it a night. Well, good night, everyone. Like I said, I think we're just gonna call it a night now. I knew when we were out there looking at those handprints and footprints, I knew I was forgetting something well known that rhubarb was in, and I couldn't think of what it was, and I kept thinking about it all day, and then finally I looked it up. It was the Diary of Anne Frank. Rhubarb was in the Diary of Anne Frank with Shelley Winters. I was going, how could I have forgotten that? But that's what it was. So one more thing for Rhubarb to put under his acting belt. Hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. I wanted to send a big shout out thank you to Aileen Sum for making a contribution to my channel. If you'd like to help out the vlogs with our future adventures, go to either paypal.me/JordanTheLion or go through patreon.com/JordanTheLion. You can contribute up to, well, however much you want, but from $1 or more. Thank you all for watching. Have a great night. We'll see you all later. Goodbye.